and it's time for another Craig Goes Cycling. This week, it's been quite a good week on training. I had 3 dedicated training sessions on Zwift. I also did a club ride, a group ride on Zwift. It was with Amy and Kyle on the Amy Cycling Adventures Zwift Club. I use that mainly because the elastic band's on, I use that mainly as a recovery, so I don't tend to push too many watts on that. Just have a little gentle spin around and a little bit of a chat on there, and it's an enjoyable sort of 45-50 minutes on there. Gets the week going, gets your legs spinning after the weekend. So if you haven't joined on that, I tell you it's well worth it. On Zwift, look for Amy's Cycling Adventures and join her group rides, which are normally on a Monday night. This coming week commencing the 5th of February, it's going to be on a Wednesday though, so I think I'm going to have to give that one a miss this week. But apart from that, there's been a few training sessions, 3 training sessions. I've had a dedicated crit preparation ride, so sort of mimics attacks and breakaways, trying to get into that, and then holding a steady rhythm, and then more breakaways. So really getting your heart moving, getting your FTP up, moving, working hard, and then sort of settling back down a little bit. Spend most of the time is in endurance on the zone on that. But there are, sort of 10-15% of that is at the 350 watts plus. So that was an enjoyable one. So I'm just looking on the other monitor, on the other ride, on what I've done this week. Then on Tuesday it was, that was it. One of these shorter, it was a zone 2 ride. So it's an hour and 15 minutes, where the vast majority of it I just spent it's a 10-minute warm-up, then 25 minutes at 145 watts, 25 minutes at 155 watts, and then a 10-minute cool down. Now, I get it, these endurance rides, they're needed. You need to do these as well as all the other high intensity, but I do find them a little bit boring. So this is where I find Netflix comes into its own on that. So searching through Netflix, I found Derry Girls, haven't watched that for a while, so put that on, put my earbuds in, and watched 3 episodes of Derry Girls while I was going. Keeps your mind occupied, and you don't get bored, because without it, if I'm just listening to music, these sort of longer zone 2, the hour and 15 minutes, hour and 20 minutes, I do tend to sort of, my mind wanders and I'm not concentrating properly, and I'm just I get bored. So I find that Netflix definitely comes into its own in that respect. So that's well worth doing. Again, average power of like 150 watts, 50 minutes. Nice and gentle again, so nothing too strenuous, but after the crit prep session the night before, it's a welcome little break from anything too strenuous. And then Friday night, cadence switching. So again, sort of switching between my FTP 260. So you sort of sit there and you do blocks of same sort of power, so sort of 245 watts, but you do a minute at so I think it was 68 RPM, and then a minute at 98. So you switch between that, 4 blocks of those, and then there's a bit of a rest, and then it goes into another block with 4 different sectors in that. But then it bumps for 1 minute it bumps the FTP up to, I think it was 265 watts at 68 RPM, or might have been 73, and then down to 210 watts at 98 RPM. So 4 blocks of that, so 8 minutes in total. Nice one just to finish the week off. Friday night, get home from work, do the shopping, jump on Zwift and get that one done. And I enjoyed that one. Made me feel pretty good, to be honest. I don't know, there's something about a Friday night session where I tend to feel really good, feel really strong. I don't know if it's because I've done a couple of sessions in the week, then had Thursday night off, and then Friday my legs just seem to be flying. So I feel like I'm really on it on a Friday night, and I love it. I do enjoy the Friday night sessions. And then this morning we went onto a road ride, the PDC Cycle Club, myself and Elliot, who you saw in last week's video. But this week we were joined by Mark, who, now in the video I accidentally say we've not seen him since the 8th of March, but that's stupid, because it's not March yet, and we've seen him since March last year. It was in fact October, so we hadn't seen him for 4 months. So Mark was back out with us, so it was great to have him back. We chose a relatively flat route, about 45 miles, relatively flat, not much climbing, because we didn't want to do, Mark's first ride back, we don't want to hurt him. It's not fair. Myself and Elliot, we could have bombed off and done that. Although, to be fair, we did. Coming back from Burrowash back to Risley, We had a bit of a tailwind, sort of a cross tailwind, so myself and Elliot did bomb it along there, but we waited for Mark at Risley at the crossroads. But it was good to have him back, but there was an incident in there in a little village called Weston-on-Trent near Elveston Castle. I'm not going to say too much about it now because Elliot will explain what happened in the video. Needless to say, we think this guy has got problems. Really has. He maybe, I don't know what his problems are. He probably just doesn't like cyclists. I mean, as cyclists, we're used to car drivers and van drivers and lorry drivers not liking us and shouting abuse at us. But what this guy said to us when we were stationary, we weren't even moving, is, yeah, he has problems. He's got serious issues. So anyway, that's enough chat from me. So we'll move on. A few videos from today's ride, and then we'll come back at the end of that and then just have a little chat about what's going to be done next week. All right, see you soon.
Right, last week I had a little bit of bother where I went to a really bumpy road and my seat post dropped. I put it back to where I thought it should be, and I did the ride and it wasn't too bad. But I've had a niggling pain in my knee all week, and I've had all week to put this seat post back, to measure it and put it back to where it should be. So yet again, Brett Belshaw, I've let you down because you would have checked your bike the night before. So I've had a niggling pain all week, and I just got back on my bike this morning, and as soon as I got on it, I thought that doesn't feel right, and my knee hurts. So, a bit of mechanicking on the go. Here's Elliot.
Morning.
Yeah, I've let Brett down again.
Morning, buddy.
I've had all week.
Oh no, you're not prepared.
No, I know.
I had all week to put this back to where it should be, and I forgot. I got on it this morning, and it hurt, and my knee's been hurting all week. So, right.
Felt prepare to fail.
That's the
Yeah.
one. Brett Belshaw, I do apologise. Right, let's get this something like tight. Remember, children, always make sure your nuts are tight. Are your nuts tight, Craig? Oh no, I just sat down too quickly. Sorry. Nearly there. Right, I think. I'm always worried about going too tight on carbon though. So, right, we'll try that. And what I'm going to do now, actually, I'm going to take the camera off here, introduce you to Mark. Not seen him
Morning,
since.
gents.
And ladies.
Everyone. And ladies.
We haven't
Sorry,
seen him.
ladies.
We haven't seen him since the 8th of March. Why haven't we seen him since the 8th of March, Mark?
I've been a bit lazy, lads. To be honest, everyone.
Oh, he's lazy. Okay, that's what we call him now. Is it? I thought it was called sex.
It probably is, mate. It probably is as well, yeah.
Right, see you in a bit.
Bye all.
Windy. Warm today. Very warm, but we're into a headwind all the way out to Ticknall to Willington. Sun's shining though, it's nice and warm this morning. It's a lot better than last week. Best day of the year so far. Hope you can hear this through all this wind noise. I've got different gloves on today, thinner gloves, and only 2 layers on top. And I'm kind of wishing I'd worn my shorts. This is good fun, really good. Mark's back out with us for the first time for a while. So, looking forward to the coffee stop at Mercy Marina, that's where we're going. Alright, see you in a bit. You cheated! I've been looking back for you, wondering where you got to. Pair of cheeky bastards. A shortcut at the bus stop.
Did, yeah.
Alright, for that, Mark's buying.
Cheers, mate. I won't get it, mate, actually.
Mark, first ride back then. So far, we are 25 miles in. How are you feeling?
Bit tired, I must admit. Bit tired, back's aching a bit, but legs are fine and I feel great.
But you've been rowing, so you've been keeping fit
I have,
through
mate,
winter.
yes, I have.
Cycling fitness coming back.
Hopefully, mate, hopefully, yes.
Brilliant. Does it feel good to be back with the PDC?
Magic.
And with that, back to the studio.
best thing about today's route was 14-15 mile an hour headwind out, but we now got a 14-15 mile an hour tailwind back home. So about 150 watts, 150 watts, pushing 25 mile an hour. Absolutely loving it. What isn't to love about a day like today? I'm out with my mates, the sun's well, the sun was shining, it's gone behind the cloud now, but it'll be back out in a minute. We've had a coffee, beans on toast, feeling good. Life is brilliant. The weather's turning, it's starting to get better. Love it, love it. So Elliot, just been coming through, what is it, Weston-on-Trent, wasn't it? Do you care to tell us the little episode we had at the junction with the car driver in front of us and what he said?
A guy in the car in front opened his door and told us not to talk amongst ourselves.
I mean, we are, as cyclists, we are kind of used to getting abuse from car drivers, but I've never been told to not talk amongst ourselves before. I mean, they actually stopped, opened the door and said that to us. Don't talk amongst yourselves. I mean, I have no idea how arrogant that person is or how posh he thinks he is, but anyway, plebs, remember, no talking on the way home from now on, Mark. No more talking. Elliot, no more talking. No more talking. We're done. That's it.
That's back from a very, very enjoyable ride with Elliot and Mark. PDC Cycle Club. Numbers are growing again. 3 of us. Just need to get Brett, Ethan and Gus out now. See if we can get all 6 of us out one weekend. But Brett's struggling with what he thinks is sciatica or trapped nerve. Ethan and Gus, not too sure, they just couldn't make it this week, but that was a good one. Mark's first ride for 4 months with us and he did really well. I think we averaged about 17 mile an hour. So to say he's done no cycling in 4 months, did really well. So I think it's time for a shower now. I might treat myself to a little McDonald's or 5 chicken select meal and a coffee. That's good. Right, catch you later. See ya. So that's it. The advice for today is, cyclists, well, even when you're stationary at a junction, don't talk because you might offend a motorist in Weston-on-Trent. Yeah, we just spent the rest of the ride laughing about him and making fun of him and calling him a few names. Unfortunately, he'd gone by then, so we didn't really hear them. But yeah, Weston-on-Trent. It's a local village where only local people are allowed to talk. Now remember, Tubbs, fetch my gun. If you ever watched League of Gentlemen, it's a crap impression, but you know, if you've ever watched it, you'll get it. So that was today's ride. Brilliant fun. The weather was great. You know, it wasn't cold. It started out, I thought it was going to be a little bit chilly, so I've got my bib tights on and got 2 layers on. By the end of the ride, it could have just done with, well, halfway through the ride. Not even halfway through the ride. I wish I was wearing shorts. When we were gassing it from Bredsall back through to Risley, it was absolutely boiling by then, so really didn't need the outer layer. But earlier on, we needed it, so it was good though. The roads were a bit wet, but the sun was shining. It was glorious. It was really good to be out today. It just felt absolutely fantastic, and it just feels like hopefully the weather is starting to turn. But you know what's going to happen. We'll end up with a cold snap, and it'll be freezing with cold next week or pouring with rain. So next week, I'm like I said earlier, I'm not going to be doing the Amy Cycling Adventures group ride because that's on a Wednesday this week. So I'm going to move my training sessions around. Normally it's a Tuesday and a Wednesday and a Friday. I have my dedicated sessions. So I'm going to move Tuesdays to Monday, do Wednesday and do Friday. And I think on Tuesday I'm hoping to get over to Derby Velodrome to photograph some of the track cycling there, because I've never photographed track cycling before. Until last year, I'd never actually photographed cycling really that much, and done a couple of little things, but not much at all. So I never really photographed cycle racing. My main thing has always been sort of mainly football and music, with motorsports and motorbike racing and go-kart racing. That's been my thing. So I'm going to hopefully have a go at photographing in the velodrome and just see what challenges the indoor lighting there throws upon me. So apart from that, that's pretty much it for next week. I'm actually considering moving a couple of weeks forward. 2 weeks today, there is a crit race, a short circuit race down at Leicester. I think it's Loughborough University who are hosting, and there's a Cat 4 race only, which is for non-students. So I think I'm going to have a look at maybe do that race. the racing that I want to sort of focus on is at Darling Moor up in Ashbourne in Derbyshire, but that doesn't start until towards the end of March. The beginning of March. But I think I might just have a go, depending on what the weather's like. If it's absolutely going to be pouring with rain, I'll be honest, I'm going to chicken out of it and I'm not going to do it. But otherwise, if the weather's going to be dry, it doesn't matter if it's cold, if it's dry, yeah, I think I might have a go and just sort of blow a few cobwebs out of my legs and just see how I go. Just have a bit of a ride around that track there. I did that track once last season. I think I stayed with the group for about 35 minutes, and then got a bit tired and I got dropped and got lapped. But yeah, it was a good experience. It was a new circuit for me. I'd never raced on there before. So yeah, we'll have a look. Maybe February the 17th, I might go ahead and do that ride. But I'm going to sort of look about a week ahead of that, just see what the weather's going to be like, what the weather forecast is, and make a decision on that. So that's it for this week. Like I say, next week, 3 training sessions, hopefully get over to Derby Velodrome, and then fingers crossed the weather's going to be good again next weekend so we can get out on the roads. And that's it. So if you're out there riding, stay safe, have fun, take care, see you again, bye.